Family, Trojan family, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, I want to talk about why I think and why I feel like USC doesn't have to get any more running backs through the transfer portal. Listen, I've been listening to the conversation the past few weeks and talking about how many guys we need to get, whether it's offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and I hear the running back position is one that needs to be thrown out there. But I want to state a case as to why I think that this running back room is fine, and we could utilize everything that we have within this running back room. You know, there is several guys that we had last year, whether it's Darwin Barlow. We had a total of 5 running backs. Darwin Barlow had Matt Colombo, who was a walk-on, who ended up going to San Diego. We had Amar Peterson, who was a true freshman. Quinn Joiner, which was a true freshman. And of course, we had Austin Jones, and then we had Marshawn Lloyd. And so you look at these running backs that we had last year, and yes, you had 2 guys that were very experienced, but the rest weren't that experienced. The rest didn't have the game experience that everybody else had. And so the only way you get game experience is if you actually play. And you look at a guy like Darwin Barlow last year, who did not have any game experience. It's just a little bit here and a little bit there. And that's just kind of how his career went ever since he came from TCU. But every time Darwin Barlow got in, he was able to be effective. And I was told in practice, he was extremely effective. And for what reason he didn't play, I have no idea. But, you know, you look at guys like that and you wonder if guys like Amar Peterson and Quinn Joiner, all those guys have been extremely effective in practice. And we've heard other teammates talk about how they were explosive in practice. And I would say that, listen, man, sometimes we could look and try to search for something, and we already got it. And I think that Anthony Jones has a group of guys, and I want to show you these guys, including the freshman, Brian Jackson, that's coming in. I want you guys just to remember and reflect back and think about some of the videos that we've shown you as it relates to their film. We're going to look at their film, but I think USC is fine with the running backs that they have. Let's take a look at some of these guys real quick. Let's go. All right, the first one is Brian Jackson. I just want you guys to remember how explosive this kid is and how 6'1", 230 pounds, how big of a guy he is, but the wiggle room that he has, he's able to move and groove, the lateral movement, the cutback. I mean, the guy is explosive to be this big, and he's fast for his size. And I think somebody like him, a freshman coming in, I think he's going to be one of those guys that can contribute right away, and we can't sleep on a guy like Brian Jackson. You know, oftentimes we always go look for other things, but I think what we have in Brian Jackson is a guy that was recruited by Ohio State, Florida State. All these schools offer them. You think of Miami, you name it, Texas A&M. Everybody wanted Brian Jackson, and coincidentally, he was voted DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area, #2 running back in the state. And that's speaking a lot for a guy like Brian Jackson. The next one's going to be this guy, JoQuavius Marks. He's going to be the most experienced. You know, he led the SEC in receiving yards for a running back in receptions. And look, man, the kid is extremely explosive, a guy that has running back skills all over the field, a guy that has lateral movement, very elusive, a guy that knows how to pass block, a guy that knows how to make the cuts when he goes up the field. You see what he's doing here against a team like LSU. So look, man, when you're talking about a complete running back room, I think, you know, a guy like him, man, he can really lead the way and teach some of these youngsters, because these guys at the end, they're sophomores now. Amar Peterson, Quinn Joiner, they're sophomores now. So now, what are we looking for? You know, oftentimes people say, look, let's go get these other backs. But look, we already got everything that we need. What else are you looking for in a running back? And so, you know, I think these guys are durable enough to get the job done. And I think JoQuavius Marks can help lead the way with some of these young backs. Man, you guys can tap in with me. Let me know what you think about JoQuavius Marks and about these guys, Brian Jackson, in the running back. Also, you look at a guy like Quinn Joiner. He had a phenomenal year last year, really broke out. And, you know, he was sitting behind 2 powerful guys, you know, Austin Jones sitting behind Marshawn Lloyd, but Quinn Joiner was able to hold his own, was able to move and groove. And I think USC has a great running back and this young running back in Quinn Joiner. This is sophomore year. Why put him in the back burner and look for anything else when we have something special in a guy like Quinn Joiner already? And you couple that with Brian Jackson, and of course you couple that with JoQuavius Marks. But Quinn Joiner, man, very elusive, broke out in the spring game, broke out throughout the year when he had the ball, had his opportunity, and I think USC will be absolutely fine with these youngsters. The last one's going to be Amar Peterson. You guys saw what he did in the spring game. Didn't have that footage. I wanted to get that footage, but I couldn't retrieve that footage. But listen, you guys know he's standing at 6'1", 220, and I think, listen, as I stated before, the only way you get game film is if these guys actually get on the game. We don't want another Darvin Barlow situation, having multiple backs just sitting there, just looking on the sideline. Look, man, these guys need to get in there. They're young. They're sophomore now, so now is the time, and the time is now. They're not freshmen anymore, so let's put them out there. I think we got guys that can move and groove. Let's go get a running back in the 2025 class, but I think USC right now is set. We got the running back from the 2024 class. USC is set, in my opinion, to really make some things happen this year, and this is my stating my case as to why I think USC will be good as far as running backs with just the 4 that we have. Until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. Fight on, fight on, fight on.